Alright, good morning to everyone out there. It is currently 7:23 a.m. Today, the edition of the North Carolinian weather video on today's date, December 17th, 2010. 2-hour delay for Iredell Statesville schools. And what you're looking at here is the radar. A pretty impressive system back here over parts of Texas and Oklahoma. That is the storm that will affect parts of North Carolina this coming weekend. Alright, this system's going to kind of dig south, not too far south like we want it to, not far enough south, and then kind of scoot up the coast and then wrap back in and give New England a pretty good snowstorm, or coastal parts of New England anyways. I'll get to my thoughts here in a second with it. Actually, do I have... yeah, okay. I'm going to have to pull those up. But this system is going to dive south. But what we want to happen, okay, if we're looking for a snowstorm in West Iredell, okay, or the western part of North Carolina, to say, what we want to really see is positive PNA for ridging over the west part of the country to dig a system down into the Gulf and bring it up the East Coast. We don't have that, okay? We don't have that. Alright, I'm sorry, but we don't. Okay? Hold on, let me try to find my map. I'm sorry. There it is. Okay. Anyways, here we go. Let's go into the modeling. Okay. Here is the 06Z running the now. Alright? Model's starting to get a little bit better handling on it, but phasing problems still could be an issue. Alright? Okay, and there's my accumulation map. Alright? 1 to 3 inches from just northeast of Charlotte all the way up into Raleigh and the northeast part of North Carolina, the coastal plain area. And I put a dusting for areas just outside of that line just to allow for some quick changeover to coat the ground maybe after the cold air gets in and maybe meets up with precip. I think this back here is just a little too far west. This is going to be about the west extent of the precip, but since it's the west extent, it'll pretty much all be snow. Winston-Salem, maybe a dusting. Sorry, it's not looking good. Statesville, not looking good. Charlotte, not looking good. Raleigh, you're looking good. I think you could see probably 3 inches or so. Possibly, if things work out. Okay. Here is the GFS, a little bit more robust with the snow. Even got some places getting 6 inches or so. Or 4 inches anyways, 4 or 6 inches in to northeastern North Carolina. Could that play out? Who knows? But here is the European, the latest run. The 12Z European, remember, gave us here in Statesville a good snowstorm. It's all off to the east. The only model that shows it trending back west, I don't know that there is one actually. No Gaps takes the system off too. I don't think there is one. SREF shows about 1 inch of snow for us here in North Carolina. So I didn't pull up the actual map of precip and everything, but 1 inch of snow. Here's the combined conditionals for the GFS. Heavier snow back into Raleigh and parts of northeastern North Carolina and then it changes over and it's all snow, of course. Then flurries for Statesville and places like that. I mean, the GFS, let me show you it. It does have some precip, okay, reaching just to our east, okay, so that could give us a little snow. I'm not expecting more than flurries though, honestly. Let me take you back. Let's see. Okay, so this weekend storm doesn't look too impressive as of now. What could happen, okay, let me show you the upper level industry, okay. Here is our system right here, okay. I know you can't see North Carolina in parts of these maps. Hold on, I'm going to try to fix that. But you got to bear with me a minute, okay? Alright, here's the 0Z. No, this is 06Z running the GFS. And this is the 250 millibar streamlines. This is the jet stream, kind of. And what you got is you got your low pressure center, or low pressure, over, where you call it, Texas, okay? And then it moves south almost into the Gulf, switches over to the Atlantic, and then it tracks up the East Coast, and it blows up, okay? It doesn't phase and develop the storm until it's way up here in off the coast of New England. Okay, I know you can't see that. Sorry. Way up there. All right. The one thing that could happen with this storm to give us snow. There's about one more thing that could, or two more things that really could give me hope if the modeling went towards this in the storm. I don't think this is going to be a big event for Statesville. Raleigh, sure, you might get a couple inches. Coastal plains, northeastern coastal plains, sure, you might get a couple inches. Charlotte, maybe a dusting. That's about best, okay? Track is key. Track is key. With these systems, you really just don't know. Until this storm gets closer to the Gulf and we see how condensed it is and how, okay, what we need to happen is this thing to deepen. Okay, if this thing can deepen and consolidate before and phase before the models are showing it doing so. The modeling has had problems with phasing. Okay, but again, we don't have that positive PNA, and we have a negative NAO, but we don't have the positive PNA, and that kind of makes me think this isn't not going to be a big storm because it can't access too much moisture in the Gulf. Could be wrong in that thinking. Modeling has been having phasing problems. If this storm phases and deepens, say, as it comes across, let's see, back into the northern Gulf, or even off the coast of Georgia, then instead of, you know, off the coast of North Carolina and Virginia, and then eventually like DC, if we could get it to condense and deepen beforehand, we could be looking at a snow event. Okay, we'll have to see, and track is key as always with these systems. These systems are always hard to predict. It's coming from the south. Clippers moving in. So if we don't get this system, we'll probably have snow in the next week. Okay, that's my deal. If you don't get snow out of this one, you'll probably have snow in the next week, unless you're at the coast, and then maybe not. But here's the GFS. It's got a clipper moving through Tuesday, and it just kind of fizzles it out. Alright, European's a little bit more robust with this system. Got the precip moving in, pretty heavier precip in parts of it. So does the no gaps. Alright, and so does the, I think the Canadian had it maybe, but I didn't pull the Canadian up this time. But anyways, that's some light snow for us. I'm going to go ahead and say that Tuesday could advertise some sprinkles and flurries, maybe some light accumulations points east. Clippers have overperformed and brought us snow most of the time, the past two that we've had this year. We'll see what happens with that one. Another way more robust one, okay, moves in, and even the GFS has this. This right here, what you're seeing, is snow on your screen, and if you notice the date up in the top left-hand corner of your screen, that is Saturday, December 5th, December 25th. You know what day that is? That's Christmas. Okay? That shows a pretty nice snowstorm up into Virginia, and pretty nice snow even back into Statesville, North Carolina, because the clipper comes through and then it intensifies as it goes into the Atlantic. Throws back moisture, and we got 2 or 3 inches, taking verbatim that. That's way out there. Time will tell, and it's going to change a lot. But Saturday, points east of, say, 85 is the best chance for accumulating snow. Tuesday, we could get some snow here in Statesville, and then again on Christmas Day, some more snow. That's all guesses as of now for the Tuesday and Saturday system, because model divergence. But Saturday storm is not looking good for Statesville. Oh well, parts of the eastern North Carolina could get it. There's always that chance that it changes. Just that positive PNA not being there is not a good thing. Okay, and notice we have a positive PNA as we go into there. And let me show you the long range. Positive PNA starts to neutralize by Christmas Day. That's good. Okay, that could be indicative of a storm around Christmas Day. Alright, NAO starting to neutralize. Not a very good sign, okay, if you want cold. Or blocking up north to bring the systems down. Arctic oscillation starts to relax and trend back to neutral. Hence, that means that we're not going to be so cold. Now, so cold doesn't mean it's going to be hot. It just means that it might be average. Okay, we haven't had a day above average except for the first day of December. And so we've had 2 weeks, over 2 weeks, and I mean, Charlotte right now would be the coldest temperature or coldest December on record, but that's not going to happen because it's going to moderate probably. But I see this cold actually, and I've been looking at some blogs and following some different people and looking at some long-range indicators, and we might, and you know, I was forecasting a warmer than average January. Some newer model guidance is saying we could be cooler than normal the first part of January anyways, and then we might still warm up February. But if that happens, you know, who knows. But I want to clear this up too. Just because it's warmer than average in January and February does not equal no snow. It just means that there's less chance and there's not as many opportunities. But really it's kind of good, because if you've got not such cold air, we want the cold air to kind of relax so we can get storms down here, because otherwise they go too far to our south. Okay, and that's another thing about this weekend storm, is there's not a big high pressure or low pressure or anything pumping down cold air to support snow, so it's only going to be about a 150-mile band at most of snow on the northwestern fringe of this low pressure system. So we'll see. We're on the edge. We're dancing on the razor blade, okay? We're right there on the edge. Any shift in the track could bring us sunny skies, or, as I said yesterday, snowmageddon, which ain't gonna happen, but we could bring us snow. I'll see you tomorrow. Sorry I've taken so much of your time. Have a great day, and that's about it.